I think it's actually worked out over the years. For the first 15 or 20 years of my work life, I spent a lot more time at work than I do now. My time management has become a lot better. And I remember two very interesting leaders, business leaders, who gave me in different words pretty much the same advice. Dhirubhai Ambani and Mr. Aditya Birla. And I was young, impressionable, and they asked me, what time do you go to work? So I said, 8 o'clock. What time do you come back from work? So I said, 8 o'clock. And I felt very proud saying that, I've got long working hours. And Dhirubhai said, he said, son, the company you handle is a small company. The company I handle is multiple times of the company that you handle. I go to work at 10 and I leave by 4. And I know every single detail that happens at my company. You're obviously spending the wrong kind of time with the wrong kind of detail. And almost something similar was told to me about 15 days later by Aditya Birla. And he asked me the same question. And I told him with equal pride that, these are my working hours and whatever. And he says, listen, I leave home at 10 and I'm back by 5. I work in the mornings at home, I work in the evenings at home. But he says, you have to learn to manage your time well. And you have to learn to focus on the right things. And I think that's left a very, very significant impression on me. And I try to follow that. And I think now I'm learning to manage my time much better. Though today was an example of awful time management.
So in fact, you were told that you were poised to leave to Bangalore and we held you back. So that was really nice of you to
Yes, I was supposed to go to Bangalore for the opening of Pay, but because this was fixed and they said we can't change it, so I said okay, I had committed to that. But it was an example of awful time management today, but generally I think I manage my time well.
Oh. So in between you find time to watch cricket?
I find time to watch cricket in the night because my wife wants to watch Balika Vadhu. I watch it with her.
Oh. So what are plans of your kids? So what do they intend to do? Do they intend to join business?
My daughter is graduated from the University of Pennsylvania a couple of years ago. And she is now doing two independent things. She is the one who's promoting Pay in India.
Oh.
And she also does handmade cards which are making quite a mark. So it's up to her to do what she wants to do. And my son is still very young. He's in Wharton in his second year. He's got another 2.5 years before he graduates from there. Let's see what he wants to do.
Oh, okay. So, coming back to the business side, the group has gone through, first the acquisition spree, and then perhaps we had to consolidate our operations. So, sort of several transition phases. So, would you say that whatever businesses that we have retained are the key focus area for CESC? For the RPG group.
Frankly, if you ask me honestly, I do believe that we have the scope to trim a little more. But that has to be by consensus. It cannot be by one person viewing it that way. But clearly, power, tires, power transmission, software, carbon black. These will be key areas for us. And we would not only grow to leadership in India, but we will try and, for example, in transmission power line, we are world leaders now. In carbon black, we are the 8th largest in the world, and we will become 6th largest in the next 2 months, once our new facilities go on stream. And we will aim for a better position. So we will aim for leadership positions, certainly in the country. And we will focus on these businesses. And what we've learned from the past is that we made many mistakes. And funds from one business will not go into another business now. So the power funds will be used for power. Carbon black funds will be used for carbon black. The tire funds would be used for tires, and so on. And each time there is For example, we are building a new vertical in retail. It's a pioneering effort. It's a difficult effort. It's a challenge, but we do believe we are on top of that challenge. And over the years, we will be able to build a legacy that will be fantastic. So there will be one or two such conscious, calculated, researched, well thought out moves. But fundamentally, we will stick to the core. Yeah.
So when you talk about the businesses, which is the business, or retail is your brainchild, but leaving aside retail for a while, which is the other business which is closer to your heart?
You know what's driving me most and what's giving me the greatest adrenaline at this point in time is power. There are so many opportunities and there's so many variants and there are so many challenges. For a while it had become a little boring, but it's again exciting me a lot.
Oh, okay. So you think there's a lot of noise which is being made about merchant power and so on and so forth. How sustainable is that?
I am not sure whether merchant power tariffs at this level are sustainable for a medium term even. But our planning is all done on not this kind of tariffs, but significantly more modest tariffs. If we get these tariffs, of course, we'll be delighted. But when you plan for a project, you cannot plan on the basis of the moon and then not get it.
True. Now coming to retail, which is being your brainchild and your initiative within the group, what are your plans to turn around? How do you see the business, say 3 years from now? And then, any eventual plans to dilute equity there?
Yes, I'll just take it one by one.
Sure.
As far as retail is concerned, what we've achieved over the last 1 year is actually shaved off about 100 crores of cost annually, which is very significant, one. Two is our revenues per square foot were 625, they're now running at about 800. So that's another very strong step forward. And three, we've realized that going into 70 cities in the country is not necessarily the key to making profits. Because on the one hand you were getting scale, on the other hand you were adding significant costs. And not every city gave you the same kind of traction. So of a limited city presence in the back end, we will try and proliferate the front end to the extent we can. Second, the mix between large format and small format was 40-60. It will become 60-40.
Oh, the exact reverse.
Yeah, the effort of managing a 5,000 square feet store is the same as managing a 50,000 square feet store. So if you have to spend the same amount of time and effort, you might as well do a bigger store because you get it's larger space, it's larger revenues, it's larger profits.
True. So, can we say that Spencer's would be turning around completely, say, by 2011 or?
It's very difficult to forecast in precise time, but yes, give another 12 months and I certainly expect the company to get to a store level profit, and thereafter bit by bit to a profit at the eventual level. I think it's a factor of cost, it's a factor of scale, it's also a factor of the of reality prices in India. And in the past you've had 10 retailers going to the landlord chasing for the same property. So properties that were worth $30 actually went for 50. Sanity has come back, but it's not completely sane yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's reduced, but it's still not back to really achievable levels.
I see.
And that can only happen if A, there are more malls that are being developed, and B, less players chasing the landlords.
True.
Both of which is happening. So give it another 12 months, I expect retail rentals to actually correct. Secondly, the power tariffs that states like Maharashtra or whatever charge to retailers were like 11 rupees and 12 rupees. And if you want a bright, nice, feel-good store, you have to have air conditioning and it has to be brightly lit. So you're consuming a lot of power. And paying $11 and $12 is criminal. So it's a matter of time when, the ultra megas start coming in and power tariffs will start going down. And then we hope that this cost will also come down. It's a significant cost.
True. We have been to your mall, which is nearby. That's one of the best malls that ever India had.
It is good, yes.
So I'm told that the footfalls out there, bulk of the footfalls are because of the Spencer Mall there.
Absolutely.
So would you say that's your best property so far?
Well, that's one of the best performing properties for us, but I think our property in Gurgaon actually does very well. Our property in Mushirabad in Hyderabad does very well. We've got a new property in Bangalore which is doing exceedingly well. We've got a property in coastal Andhra which is doing very well. So we've got many properties which are doing very well now.
Oh, that's great. So, you're a big believer in Sai Baba. How often do you go to Shirdi?
I'm not a big believer in Sai Baba. I'm a big believer in religion. I'm a big believer in destiny. I believe in fate. I believe in karma. And I believe in astrology.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do. I know it's not the fashionable thing to say, but I do.
Oh, okay.
And to me, religion is about being good to people. And it's also about doing prayers. And so as a matter of habit now and faith, I do prayers in the morning and at night. And very often in the car when I'm traveling. Yeah. And I find that with age, this thing is increasing. I don't know whether it's what to attribute this to, whether it's greater faith in the Almighty or it's a lack of confidence in myself. I don't know what.
I would disagree. Most of us would disagree on the second part.
But, it's happening, and I think I'm enjoying religion a lot more than I was before.
Okay. So, have you read the Gita?
Well, I've read a translation of the Gita. Yes, and as kids we were made to read the Ramayana every day.
Really?
And we still, we do the Hanuman Chalisa every day.
Oh.
Yeah, and others as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, which is your, there's one place that you were to pick for your vacation. Which would that be?
It keeps changing actually. But for me, Europe would be a very good destination. It's actually a very wide canvas, but the countries within Europe keep changing. But I enjoy visiting Switzerland, I enjoy visiting France, I enjoy visiting Italy. I enjoy visiting actually London a lot.
Really?
So there are too many favorites.
Oh, but how often you visit these places? Or your business doesn't allow you to take
No. I take holidays. I take holidays and I enjoy taking holidays. What I don't do is take long holidays. I take more frequent, shorter holidays.
I see. Oh, yeah. Yeah.